Alright, so I got this Ford Fusion here. This is actually a car we sold a couple months ago. This is, if you remember the Fusion video that I showed you of the wreck car, and I referred to another Fusion, this was that Fusion. So we sold the car. Customers have been very happy with it. And then they come in and they said, the AC stopped working. Okay, let's take a look and see what happened. You know, we're gonna fix whatever it is. We sold the car. Even though technically it doesn't have a warranty, we sold the car. So anyway, get to looking at it. The AC compressor's turning on. Okay. Doesn't mean anything. I grab the line. The line's cold. Not ridiculously cold, but the line's cold. Put my hands over the vents. That's warm air. Like, it feels like heat air. Let me show you something. Now, you're not going to be able to obviously temperature. You will on the scanner, but you'll understand in a second. So here's the inside. And if I put my hand over, I can feel, you know, it's not hot, but it's not cold. And it's definitely not just free-flowing air like the compressor's not turning on. So I was like, what the heck's going on here? So I got the temperature control here. And now I got it all the way down to full cold. And what I did was I grabbed my scanner. It's kind of difficult to see. But this is for the left side door actuator. Now, for some reason, with the scanner hooked up, everything works normal. And if you look at this number here, I'm going to actually scroll off of it because it's easier to read. It says 00. That's the left door position, the percentage. Now, the temperature control is on cold. Now, if I move it to hot, you can see that number change. So now, I have full-on heat. If I go back to cold, you'll see it go back down to 0. Okay. So now, when I first hooked the scanner up and I first started doing this, I went to this screen, and you got left door position there. So I select that, and if you go to warm, watch that number right there. So now it's on warm. Goes to, 63. Now that's middle of the road position, and that's pretty much the temperature that I had in the car. All right, middle of the road position, that's usually a default. Okay, so what I was doing was I went into cold. Whoops. I went to cold, and I would hit that. Now usually it doesn't go a full swing. Now if you see it's on 24, the temperature's cool. I can feel it's cool. I can feel AC coming in. And if you go to hot, you can see that number change. There we go. So basically, like I said, it was stuck in middle of the road position. Now for some reason, and I don't know why, with my scanner, I can't read what I actually have the control setting set to. Let me just change this back to cold, because that's hot air. And let me make sure that the temperature's turned down. Actually, I'm going to back out of it. Because like I said, while the scanner's on there, it works fine. As soon as I disconnect the scanner, it goes back to the happy medium and sits there. So, but I can't read the input from that, but I can control the output. All right, so I started doing some research. That control head is its own module. There's nothing between that and the blend door. So I think we have a bad module. I think that there's something quirky with that module. So luckily for us, we have 3 of these vehicles, 4 of these vehicles outside now. And so what I'm going to do is I already checked one, and one has the correct style control head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble this one, and I'm going to pull this, disassemble this one, pull it apart, and then I'm going to go to the other car, pull that one apart, and then this way I have everything I need. I don't want to go out into the field to take the other car apart and realize I'm missing tools. So this way, I take it apart now, I know what tools I need. So let me get going, let me take this apart. So here we are at the one wreck that we took the nose off. This is actually the nose for that car that I'm working on right now. And this is the one I'm going to take the control module out of, the heater control module. We bought this one, it got kind of hit in the rear. So, thing still runs and drives. But we're going to pull the heater control unit out right now. And now on the other one, to get it out, it's kind of stupid. You got to take the console trim and everything else out, and then take that upper glove box looking thing out just to get in there. So let me do all of this and get this going. Basically, I got to take this chrome ring out. That thing just pops up like so. Always got to worry about, especially where we are, that we got snakes or something in the car. I have seen that. So I got to take this piece out here to get this piece out here. Then I got to take this piece out, which requires taking screws out up here, which I'll get to them eventually. But yeah, let me work on getting this piece out. This is kind of a pain, especially where it tucks under the console here. Right? So, all right, let me get that going. So now just like that, this whole piece comes up and out. Now this piece has to get up and out. The clips, I can't believe how strong the clips are on this thing. They're like ridiculously strong. I'm trying to get under there. Of course, I lost my good pry tool. Must have left it in the car. Didn't even realize it. So I got a new one coming, but I don't have it yet. I'll show you that. That tool's awesome. It's made out of steel, but it's awesome. Well, actually, I don't even know if it's made out of steel. It's made out of some kind of metal alloy. All right, so now that that's out, now I got to get up here. I got to get that out. There's basically two screws up there. So let me get those going. So we're going to pop those two 8s out. Now I got to try to get this thing up and out of where it sits. And there again, this is a bit of a trick. Getting up under there. So you get the idea. I got to do that. I can't do it with one hand. I got to pry it up, and then once I get it pried up, I got to pull it this way. So let me do that. And so there's that. That's up and out of the way. And now I just got to lift it up so I can get access to those screws right there. There's one there and one there. And so now with those out of the way, I should be able to just pry this out. Kind of like that. Okay, and now the whole thing should come out. And then there's electrical connectors behind it. See those? I got to disconnect all of that stuff. Now I just realized, taking this apart, this is one of those connectors that has the swing arm to like lock it in place. And I got a funny feeling the other one is not like this. I think it might be a different module altogether. So let me get this thing completely out and let's see what happens. All right, so it's disconnected. From the outside, everything looks the same. I don't remember. Like I said, I think that connector might be different, but I'm not positive. I could be wrong. So let's walk this back into the shop and take a look and see. I'm not going to use this whole thing. I'm just going to switch over the module portion of it because the trim piece on the other one is much cleaner. Plus this one, I don't know if there's anything different with the radio portion of this, and I just don't want to take a chance. So yeah, let me just do that. Now, kind of what I thought, this connector is different. See this? How it clips in? But if you look at this connector here, and this connector here, they actually look identical. So maybe it's an updated design? I don't know. I'm going to take this out and see if it'll actually plug in. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, this thing does have, see how it has like that ramp inside? A little gate? And this one does too, so it might just work out. Let me plug this in and see what happens. I'm going to actually unbolt it from here. It's just got these Torxes down here. I'm going to unbolt it and just try it by itself first. Alright, so I got it unbolted from the cover. Now let's see if the connector is actually going to fit. And it does, and it locks. Okay. So now all I gotta do is hook in the blower motor, or actually, yeah, or fan motor plug into the switch itself, and then I gotta hook the battery back up. I disconnected the battery only because with this module disconnected, the body control module was kind of going a little nutty. It was setting on the dash it kept on saying, you know, the left rear, right front door open. Even though the right front door is open right now, I opened it just so I get some air through here. But the lights were going nuts on the dashboard, stuff like that. A lot of times it happens because it loses communication with one module completely. So let me try that. Let me get this one hooked up, and then I'm going to hook up the battery and let's see what happens. So there we go, that's plugged in, battery is connected, so the interior lights are back on. I have not tried anything yet, so let's see. If it's a failure, you're going to know the same time I do. Of course, we're going to have the radio static, so turn this on. Nothing I can do about the radio for now. Let's set the cold. I have cold air coming through, and as you see, my scanner is not connected. So the reason I can't turn down the volume is because that other piece of the face is the volume control for the radio. So, okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to assemble this into the other cover and plug everything back in, and then we'll try it again. All right, so there it is, switched into the new cover, or into the old cover, I should say. So now I just got to connect all the electrical connectors, hook the radio connectors up, and then put this back in place, put the two top screws on. I'll leave everything else loose for now, and then we'll just try it out. All right, so there it is in place. And let me start it back up. I didn't put the top screws in yet, as you can see under there. So let me start this up. Oops, would help if I put it in park, right? Shut the radio off. And I should start to get AC coming out of here any second. Oh wait, I gotta turn it back on, don't I? I actually gotta turn the AC on. It's gonna come through as heat first. And I don't know if you could actually hear the tone change. But it changed. Now it's nice and cold. So let me go to hot. Make sure I can feel hot. And I definitely feel hot. I definitely have heat coming out now. Let me go back to cold. There, we definitely have cold. Let me just try mode just to make sure. Floor defrost. And it switched floor defrost to frost only. Frost only works. Rear defroster works. Vent. Should switch back to vent. And there we go. Alright, so I am happy with all of that. Alright, so basically it's just reverse procedure. I'm going to put all this stuff back together and we're going to go from there. Let me just cluster. Driver's door, passenger door. Yeah, because before, like I said, it was saying all the doors, like it would go one, then the other, then the other, then the other. So for some reason, with that module disconnected, the body control module was probably freaking out. Like didn't know where it went and was having a panic attack. So, all right, let me get this all together, and that's going to be pretty much it. We're going to wrap this up then in a minute. So that's pretty much it. Everything's together the way it's supposed to be. And it looks good, and it's working perfectly. I got nice cold air coming through. I'm happy with that repair. You know, I mean, we take care of what we sell. You know, I don't want a customer to go down the road and be upset and say, oh, you know, they sold me that car and now it's not working right. You know, we don't want that. We just don't want that. So this is it. They'll be happy. They'll get the car back and everything will be golden again. So hope you liked that video. If you did, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. That's it for right now. You guys have a great day. Keep wrenching.